Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you as always for taking time out to watch the videos. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and talk about in this video. So before we dive into it, do me a big favor, be sure to hit the like button to help the video out and show your support. And if you are new here to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. Now the first set of topics we're discussing has to do with Horizon Forbidden West. First off, we're talking about how apparently it tops the UK charts on its debut, and it is the second biggest PlayStation 5 launch ever. So this is reading from Gaming Bolt, where it says several big games released worldwide last week, but to no one's surprise, Guerrilla Games' Horizon Forbidden West took the top spot in UK physical sales charts, as per GfK, as per Games Industry. It was also the second biggest PS5 launch in the territory thus far, with Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales being on top. Of the total sales, 68% were on PlayStation 5. Though launch sales were down 35% compared to its predecessor, they don't account for digital downloads. The fact that PS5 consoles are less widely available than the PS4, which had been available for over 3 years when Zero Dawn launched, could also be a factor. So we have our first sales data for Horizon Forbidden West, and it seems like it's off to a great start, which honestly, I am always happy to see, because these are the types of games that I really do enjoy. And so when I see them succeeding and doing well, you know, obviously that's a good sign, because it means that people are picking this game up. People are showing their support, and that means that we will likely continue to get more games like this from Sony. And I am curious to see how it's going to perform when it's all said and done, compared to not only Horizon Zero Dawn, but how it stacks up against other big PlayStation exclusives. One of the things I am very curious to know about is the fact that PS5s are still so hard to come by right now, if that is actually going to have a negative effect on the sales for Horizon Forbidden West. I know that doesn't seem likely to a lot of people, but I'm just wondering this because you do have to wonder how many people right now currently have a PS4 and are holding out buying this game. They're waiting to buy this game until they're able to secure a PS5. It's really hard to say, but I assume that if Horizon breaks any type of record for Sony or does, you know, something awesome, they will probably come out and publicly acknowledge that. But as of right now, this is what we're hearing, so I'll be sure to update you guys when we get more data. But we also have an update from Guerrilla Games where they are letting players know that they are looking into some of the visual issues that some players have been experiencing in Horizon Forbidden West. Now, obviously, we need to acknowledge that there are people all across the internet who are greatly exaggerating some of the issues that they are supposedly experiencing in Horizon Forbidden West. There is no doubt that there are some bugs in this game and that there are some issues. People get all uppity when I talk about this because they assume that what I'm saying is Horizon Forbidden West is absolutely perfect with zero issues. That's not true. I've put about 12 hours into the game so far, and even I can say, yeah, there are a few minor things here and there, at least from what I've experienced, but absolutely nothing that would be considered a buggy mess, you know, a broken game or something that would ruin the experience. Some people, however, do seem to be experiencing, you know, some worse bugs and worse issues compared to others. And so reading from PlayStation Universe, it says Guerrilla Games has acknowledged reports of Horizon Forbidden West's visual issues cropping up since the game's first launch last Friday, and is currently working on an update to fix the problem. This is what the studio said. Thank you for sharing your various visual issues with us via our support forum. The team are working vigilantly to resolve these issues with high priority and are aiming to get an update out as soon as possible. Please continue to use the support forum and share videos. Recordings of your TV/monitor are useful and provide us with as much information as possible. We understand your frustrations and appreciate your patience. We are doing our best to quickly get you back into the wilds so you can explore all the secrets of the Forbidden West. So Guerrilla Games is obviously doing the right thing here, what they should be doing, and that is taking feedback from the player base so that way they can identify these issues and correct them as soon as possible. Because as I said, something that we do need to understand is that everybody is having a different experience when it comes to Horizon Forbidden West, generally across the board, from what I've been seeing and what I've been reading from you know, when it comes to responses from people, the overwhelming majority of people are having a solid experience. The overwhelming majority of people are experiencing some minor bugs here and there, but apparently there are some people who are experiencing more serious issues for one reason or another. It's hard to say if these are just like isolated incidents or something. We don't know, but again, you know, Guerrilla is acknowledging this, and they're encouraging you that if you are somebody who for whatever reason is having a problem with Horizon Forbidden West and it's becoming like unplayable for you, they want you to, you know, contact them with their support form. But again, you know, I put about 12 hours into this game, and I've experienced personally very minimal issues with it. I know people are going to assume that I'm just being a fanboy and saying, oh, the game's perfect. No, I'm not trying to come off that way. I'm just being honest. And there's no doubt that if you look on the internet, there are people who are actually going out of their way to try to make it seem like this is like a cyberpunk situation when it's not even anywhere close to that. But I think it's totally understandable and reasonable how if there are people who, you know, maybe are a little bit unlucky and they're just having like more issues than most people are, to them it feels like this is not great and I wish it was better. You know, I paid full price for this. It's totally understandable why they would be frustrated. But unfortunately, those people who are actually having those issues end up getting drowned out by those who are just, you know, kind of screeching and making it sound like, you know, Horizon Forbidden West is a completely broken mess and it's unplayable. And obviously these people, they're just making stuff up. They're just being hyperbolic, you know. I think most of you know that, but there you go. Wanted to be sure to mention that. Next up, we're talking about the big announcement that comes from Capcom with their countdown, and it was for Street Fighter 6, which may end up being a PlayStation exclusive. So this is reading from WCCF Tech, where it says, after numerous rumors, Capcom has officially announced Street Fighter 6 with more news about the title coming this summer. The next installment of the popular Street Fighter franchise was announced through a short teaser trailer featuring Ryu and Luke. Although the teaser doesn't reveal much, we can clearly see a brand new art style for the upcoming brawler, at least when compared to the most recent Street Fighter installment, that being Street Fighter 5. And so the big question that everybody is left with is, will Street Fighter 6 be a multi-platform title? Will it release on Xbox, or did Sony lock in exclusivity once again and it will only come to PlayStation and PC? We have the reliable insider known as Special Nick from the Xbox Era podcast, and ironically enough, he gives out a lot of very good information when it comes to PlayStation, and he said that I was told a year ago it was money-hatted, so I'm still expecting that to be the case. Now, he's not saying definitively, he's just saying that the source he talked to a year ago said that, yeah, Sony locked down Street Fighter 6 as an exclusive, and to be completely honest, that's what I'm expecting. It wouldn't surprise me at all, because we know that Sony, you know, they own Evo now, and they're getting more heavily involved in esports. They did lock down Street Fighter 5. You know, it just makes sense to me that they would want to once again lock down Street Fighter 6. Now, this is creating a little bit of a controversy where a lot of people are saying Sony shouldn't do that. A game like Street Fighter should be multi-plat. And, you know, I have to be honest right now, I'm genuinely baffled and confused by the reaction that we're seeing from some people, because it seems to me like people are willing to cheer on something like an acquisition of an entire publisher and say, oh yeah, that's totally cool, that's great, that's fine, that's competition. But they're also going to come out and somehow still kind of scold Sony for locking down third-party exclusives, and many of them could end up being timed. We don't know if that's the case with Street Fighter 6. We also don't even know if it's actually going to be exclusive, but I just can't help but notice this and just kind of, you know, shake my head and be like, what is going on here? You know, I feel like that's a very strange thing. Prior to publishers being acquired, I would say, yeah, it's more understandable why some people get upset at third-party exclusivity. But at this point in time, it's like, you can't be serious, you know, like you can't be serious. But anyway, that's the big announcement that Capcom had and what they were counting down to. And so some people were feeling disappointed that it wasn't Resident Evil 4 remake, and so we will have to remain patient with that. I'm starting to think that if RE4 remake, like the rumors were indicating, is supposed to be revealed early this year, and now we're hearing that we're going to get more information on Street Fighter 6 in the future. It seems likely that, you know, we could see these games maybe show up at an upcoming PlayStation event. But the final topic I want to focus on for you guys today is just something that I thought was kind of interesting, and I'm more interested to see what you guys think of this. Ubisoft CEO says it can't stay independent. It can stay independent, but it would review any buyout offers, basically saying that, you know, they're perfectly fine staying independent, but they're also willing to potentially be acquired. And so this is what Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot, I think I'm saying his name correctly, this is what he said when he was asked about this. We have always taken decisions in the interest of our stakeholders, which are our employees, players, and shareholders. Ubisoft can remain independent. We have the talent, the financial scale, and a large portfolio of original IPs. Having said that, if there were an offer to buy us, the board of directors would of course review it in the interest of all stakeholders. And on top of that, Ubisoft CEO said that it would not speculate as to why there haven't been any offers for Ubisoft thus far. He says, what we can say is we have high value assets, we have the scale to remain independent and create very meaningful value in the future because we have scale in terms of our workforce, engineering, technology, IPs, and engaged communities. So I thought that was interesting as well because, you know, it sounds like no one as of right now is making any offers to Ubisoft, but that could very well change, and it wouldn't surprise me if it did change. And so I kind of just wanted to ask you guys, you know, we talk about the industry consolidating, we talk about the potential of Sony maybe at some point deciding to buy a publisher of their own. How would you feel if Sony were to make an offer for Ubisoft to try to acquire them? Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I honestly think Ubisoft is one of the last publishers that Sony would try to go after, but I'm mainly just curious, you know, with Ubisoft basically saying that, yeah, you know, we're willing to look at offers. I don't know, you know, if somebody like Google were to come in, or Meta or Apple, and they tried to make a play on Ubisoft, would Sony maybe try to step in to stop that? I feel like they wouldn't, but again, I'm just kind of curious to see what you guys think. How would you feel if Sony were to end up acquiring Ubisoft? Would you like that? Would you be happy about that? Or would you feel like maybe that was a mistake? Definitely going to be interested to see what you guys have to say. That's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. Make sure you leave it a like, leave your thoughts down below, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.